What's up, educators? Welcome to this space where we are going to explore, learn, create, and grow. All right, it's that time of the year when we are getting into the zone, the mode, the planning, thinking about assessments, thinking about classroom management, and just all the pieces of the puzzle and the journey for the academic year. Am I the only one who conceptualize what this journey looks like and create this kind of a map in my head of all the pieces of the puzzle that I think are necessary and important along the journey? I'm sure I'm not the only one. So drop a comment down below if you also create that mental image or map of the journey, the academic journey, the educator's journey. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you're interested in something like this, stick around and let's have that conversation. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. So this is my conceptualization of the roadmap and all the different pieces that are there that I am thinking about that would impact my journey as an educator directly or indirectly, right? So these are all the pieces. There are many pieces. And so I describe the journey as messy, beautiful, right? It can get chaotic, but at the same time, when the pieces are nicely fit together, it also can be exciting and exhilarating, and you feel a sense of accomplishment. So, yeah, so I am always thinking about these different pieces, and perhaps there are other pieces that should be added there that I may not be thinking about right now. So if you are can think of anything else that I did not add there, please share in the comments so we can talk about it, right? So directly on the road or the trail, to me, are the things that are directly going to be impacting my journey that I'm going to be doing pretty much every day or every week on this journey. So I'm looking at the where are we going, which is our unit plans, right? I'm looking at setting the stage for a successful, sane journey, and that would be classroom management, right? I'm looking at, okay, what are the instructional strategies and tools? And here I could look at things like differentiation and personalization that should be implemented on the journey. I'm thinking about pedagogy. I hope I pronounced that word correct. Not one of my favorite words to pronounce, right? And best practices and what you call those learning theories that are going to guide the learning experience for the students. I'm thinking about the integrated curriculum. I read something or heard something where it says that the children or the students that we're teaching today, right, we are preparing them for jobs that are non-existent, and that kind of blow my mind, like, what? I'm preparing them for spaces and opportunities that we don't know what they are, right? So now I have to think about, well, how am I going to prepare them for the unknown, right? And a big part of that for me is the idea of, well, what can I integrate into the curriculum to arm our students with the tools and the mindset to go create? Because a lot of these opportunities they will have to go and create themselves, right? I'm thinking about assessments, right? The different types of assessments. Thinking about how the curriculum directly and indirectly influence the practice, right? There's some elements of the curriculum as a classroom teacher that I'm going to be a part of, but there are other aspects that I have no control over. So how do I operate within the space of what I can control and what I cannot control, right? Then I'm thinking about how am I going to grow as an educator, so the professional development that I'm going to throw in the mix that is going to help me to do all those pieces well, right? Those professional developments that are mandatory that my school may say I have to do these, right? That's a part of the journey as well. I'm thinking about who can support this journey, right? So, coaching, and if you are in an institution where coaches are available, they are a great asset for you to use them, right? I'm also thinking about my growth plan. How am I going to grow and what is that going to look like for that academic year? And I'm also have to think about, which I don't do often and I'm trying to become better at it, is the idea of self-care, right? Because this journey is an intense one. It's a messy one. It's beautiful, but it takes a lot out of us as educators. So, how are we going to care for ourselves along the journey? And what do I do? I think the last one down here that's not really showing right now is the idea of apathy and burnt out, being burnt out, right? So, how do I navigate a sense of apathy, or when I'm feeling burnt out, what do I do and how do I refresh myself to get back on the path, right? So I'm conceptualizing all of those things, and that's what my journey looks like. There may be things that I did not add. So if that's the case, please let me know so I can update my map, right? So I said a lot. And the question I have for you is, where do you start on your journey at the beginning of the school year? What's the first piece of the puzzle that you think about on this journey? For me, and it's the first one there, I have to think about where we're going. So that first unit plan has to be in place, right? And if I can have the two in place, even better. I love having a sense of where we're going. Then the next thing for me is how do I set the stage? Because if the classroom environment is not right, we ain't going nowhere. So classroom management and setting the stage to create a positive learning environment is the next thing that I'm thinking about, and the strategies and tools that I'm going to use to get there. So join me on this journey, right, of navigating the academic year and all the pieces that we as educators have to go through and be mindful of, right? Join me as we explore the pieces. It's a space for us to explore, to learn, to create, to grow. Take what works for you. Take the piece that you are interested in and leave the rest, right? But at the end of the day, it's about impacting and growing as an educator. So, yeah, that's my map. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about diving into some of these pieces, which is what I'm going to be doing um, on this journey. So, yes, I'm going to dive into my why. Why am I doing this? So, yeah, let's talk about the why. All right. So, what is my why? I love this. Is one of the questions I'm always asking in just my practice. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And so it's fitting to answer the question, you know, why am I in the space? For me, I've been on this journey for 22 years, or is it 23 years? I don't even remember. It's a long journey. It has been a long time. And there were highs, there were lows, there were in betweens. There are moments when I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go crazy. There are days when I felt like quitting. There are days when I look up in the ceiling and I'm like, huh, those are glue sticks hanging from the roof. Okay. So for me, it's now an opportunity to share my experience, my journey, some of the things that work for me, some of my experiences, to share what I know and to empower and help educators. And so my thing is, if I can empower or help one teacher in one classroom somewhere on the planet, then that would be fantastic. So I'm just here to impact, empower, support, help educators, one in one classroom at a time somewhere on the planet, right? And hopefully that will grow and one will impact one. Because if one teacher is impacted, multiple classrooms will be impacted. Many students will be impacted. So that is a part of my why. All right. So where are we going next? I am going to dive into where I think are the two most important areas for me at the start of the academic year. I need to get these going. And the first one is for me, where are we going? And that is where I'm designing my units, my unit plans using one of my favorite approaches, which is the UBD approach. So I'm going to be creating some videos series around UBD like a boss. All right. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. Secondly, it's the setting the stage for success, to ensure that we're creating a classroom environment that is safe and effective for the learning of all students. So that's where our classroom management strategies and tools, our toolkit. So again, I'm going to be sharing a number of videos around that. And we decide, do we need to revamp, sharpen, refresh, overhaul, or implement? You decide. All right. So that's where I am going next. So if that's an area of interest to you, join me on this journey of exploring, creating, learning, and growing. I thank you for listening to this one. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit that notification bell. You know someone who knows a teacher who this might just be a benefit to. So why not share so that we can empower one teacher in one classroom somewhere on the planet so that our practice can become even more awesome. All right. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Walk good. Ta ta.